Welcome back to Humboldt State Tonight. It's a pleasure to introduce and welcome for the first time this year Brad Hunkins joining us on the show. Brad, thanks for stopping by and doing a little TV with us.
Not a problem, JB.
Now, Brad's number 49, and he's the guy out there on the defensive line. And for you folks who don't know, first off, Brad's a little undersized maybe for playing a little D-line. Don't tell him that maybe. He doesn't look like he knows, which is a good thing. But Brad is dislocated a knee during practice 1 week, so we thought you were done, and sure enough, you played the following Saturday. And even a bigger effort, you play and you're diabetic.
Yep.
What's that like?
It's interesting. When I first got it, it was like I was 10 years old and I wasn't really big into sports yet, and playing with it, it was interesting just to come along and see how it developed. You have to take more care of it. It's like having a hamstring injury. You have to make sure you take care of it so it doesn't cause you problems. And so playing with it, we've learned how to take care of it, getting out of practice sometimes and just saying, hey, I need to get a little bit of Gatorade, get some juice. So it's a different situation. Coaches are always surprised by it. They kind of look at me and they go, you have what? What's wrong with you? And they don't imagine something's wrong with me. But playing with it, Shannon, the trainers have done a great job taking care of it with me. So
yeah. Now, Brad, a hamstring, you work on and you just wait it heals. I mean, you're talking about you've got to watch your diet during games, your blood sugar levels. So what was that like when you told your parents, hey, I'm going to play football and I'm going to go athletics, I'm going to go full bore? Was there some concern there, or maybe you should learn the piano? What was it like when you decided to say, hey, I'm going to go and play college football just like everyone else?
They actually never saw it as a problem. They never wanted to use it as a crutch. They never wanted to say, you can't do anything, hold it back. They were all for it. When I was younger, I played Little League Baseball, and then I got into wrestling, and then I got into high school sports. And it helped having my parents were at my high school, so they were around it, and they understood it and stuff. And I actually have an older sister who has it. And so when we get to college football, they help focus on it, and they got the trainers involved and everything. So they never held me back or anything. They just said, go out and do what you want, and we'll take care of it, and we'll figure out how to deal with it.
And that's great. What about the coaches? They have to learn that, maybe if you're getting a little sluggish, it's not that Brad's getting lazy or he's slacking off, but, blood sugar may be getting low, something are happening. What's that like so they know, so maybe when you're caught up in the moment and out playing, they can keep an eye on you?
They understand. Coach Taps is my coach, and Coach McClure has been involved with it for 2 years. This is Taps is obviously first year with it, and Coach Smith. And so they understand when I start breathing a little heavy and I look like, I'm stumbling out there in the field not knowing what's going on, they know to say, we got to pull Brad to the side and get Shannon to check him out. And once they do that, then they say, is he good, is he not good? And if I'm good to go, they throw me right back in there.
And people have to make sure they don't eat your candy bars. I know I was in Drew's office one time this summer and I saw a big box of Paydays. I'm like, oh, this is great, I'm starving. And Brad comes by, hey, you're going to kill me if you eat those candy bars. Stay away from them.
Yeah, people are always asking out there at practice, Brad, let me get some of your Gatorade, let me get some of your candy if they're hungry or something. So it's not that big of a deal, but you get a little razzing from the guys.
And of course, you talk about your family. It's really a family affair for you. And talking about Humboldt State, your grandfather played at Humboldt State, and I know my broadcast partner, the Hall of Famer Bert Nordstrom, he knows your grandfather real well. They roomed together, I think, at one point, and were assistant coaches at one point. So, and I see your grandfather at every game. So what did it mean having your grandfather be a former Lumberjack in your decision?
It was a big choice, actually. It was a big part of the choice coming up here. I saw what he had gone through. I grew up here in about the Humboldt State University and went in the '68 Camellia Bowl and the green chain defense and all those things you hear about now. They're starting to come back. It was a big part of it because I saw what he did in his pursuit, and I actually want to follow his footsteps, being a college coach and being a teacher. And so it was a really good fit. And so it really made it easy to say, I want to be a Lumberjack.
So what was it like, the stories he told you, the reality? What was it like? How were some of the stories, and how does it actually compare?
The stories he told me was, obviously they didn't have the turf field we have behind us, but they had, he always talked about playing in the mud where you couldn't see the other player's helmet sitting on the other side. But the reality is pretty much what it is up here. It's a community that loves this program, and back then they really loved this place, and they still do now. And so everything he said has been pretty much on par and true.
Now, obviously, probably not going to get to play in a bowl game this year, as you guys have only won 2 games, but you're on the ground floor of this rebuilding process with Rob Smith. How good does that feel to realize you're setting the tone and building the foundation so the teams can get back and enjoy that success that your grandfather talked about?
It's a pretty good feeling because Coach Smith is doing a great job. I think what he's doing to build this program up is a great thing, and I think you can see it now in the freshmen we have buying in. Last year we had, I don't know how many freshmen we had, but we only, like on the defensive line, we only had one kid return as a freshman, Josh Ravallo. And now it seems like every kid is in there. Drew says they're working out hard, they're doing everything they're supposed to. They come to practice every day, bust their butts, getting us better. So I think what Coach Smith has is the team is really bought in, and he's got the young guys doing it, which is what he's going to need, because in 4 years, those guys are going to be, in my shoes. They're going to be seniors, and they're going to be competing for, hopefully a bowl game and maybe playoffs.
Now, what's it like as a senior knowing, you have, as a leader, you have to set the tone for those freshmen, and in the end, what they do as seniors isn't going to matter to you because you're going to be long gone and you're going to be like your grandfather, an alumnus, telling the stories. But what was it like when Coach Smith came to you and said, look, Brad, I need you to be a leader. I need you to set the tone and really get these guys going in the right direction?
It was interesting because I'd never really been put in that situation before where a coach says, these guys are going to look to you. And what I just took it with, I go, well, if these guys are going to, follow in my footsteps, and I have to be out there doing the right things, which is going to weights every day, which is showing up to practice every day, going to the training room, going to class. And those are all the important things of being a college student athlete. And so just doing the things that you're supposed to do was just made it that much more important, and these kids are really buying into it.
Now, playing hard and working hard, they're great, but your motor is nonstop when you're out there, Brad. We hear about the diabetes, the dislocated knees. Obviously, maybe he's going to take a step back this week or have some off time, but you were constantly just 100%. I forget you're 49 sometimes because your jersey seems to disappear as the game goes on. But, talk about what it means to give it your all every single play. That's, people talk about that and throw that term around, but to actually do it.
Well, to actually do it is, as like you said, it's easier said than done. And it's actually going back to my grandfather, he just, go all the time and don't stop, because good things are going to happen when you're running around, flying around to the ball. If you're near the ball and you get there and all of a sudden it pops out, you're running there, you pick it up, you got the ball, and you're going to put your team in good position. And so just going, because you never know what's going to happen, because if you take a play off, it's just like you could have been there. You could have been there if you took that extra step or you pushed that extra thing. So that's how I play. If I keep pushing it, something good's going to happen. How much does it mean, or how much does it make you want to work harder knowing your grandfather's at the game? I saw your dad in St. George just a week or two ago. What does that mean? It's actually just been part of my college football career. They haven't missed a game since I was a freshman in high school. Grandfather, he retired coaching 2 years prior to that. He took a year off, and now he's been coaching from the sidelines. So it's just, I almost expect them to be there. And so it's a really cool experience to have my parents at all the games and share this experience with me. And so it's very cool. I love it. So class of, 2050, when's your grandson going to be coming to Humboldt State? Well, let's see. Well, first I got to get a date, JB. So it's like, now are you going to coach? Are you going to coach? Yes, I'm going to coach. Okay. Now come on. This is a good-looking kid. I'm not buying the fact that he can't get a date. No. Ladies, watch out. Number 49. You can check him out at the games. Jack's, of course, on the road this week, but November 8th, they will be back at home. Brad, thank you so much for stopping by. JB, thank you. All right. Hey, Brad Hunkins, number 49 for the HSU Lumberjacks. The sports editor of the Lumberjack is coming up next right here on Humboldt State Tonight.
Listen up, sports fans. Schaefer's Fine Furniture in the Schaefer's Ace Hardware Building in Henderson Center wants you to win in the Eureka Reporters Gridiron Giveaway. And it's so easy. Just fill out the entry form each week and return it to the Eureka Reporter or Schaefer's Fine Furniture. And you could win by picking the most winning teams. Weekly winners qualified for a grand prize, a home theater package. Schaefer's Fine Furniture presents the Gridiron Giveaway. Enter to win today.
What's this?
That's called League Violation Light.
Commish?
Of the More Taste League, I am shocked. This light beer with less taste has introduced a very uncool situ into this so-called cooler. You guys pretty funny? Depriving people of Miller Lite?
No.
Wrong. But it's funny faux pas, not funny ha-ha.
Well, can I cut a deal?
I've convened with myself, and the citation is commuted. Let this guy's whistle.
The official beer of the More Taste League. Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling.